Hello, my name is Kendra Peterson, and today I'm going to talk about what conflict is, as well as the different conflict styles. I'm going to explain my different conflict styles in different situations with different people. I'm also going to talk to you about how I would like to improve my conflict style, and then finish with a situation I am currently in which I can practice improving my conflict style in order to benefit me as well as other people during conversations. Conflict is a struggle among a small number of interdependent people arising from perceived interference with goal achievement. Conflict can be both an internal and external struggle. It is a part of everyday life, but it's not always negative, and it can be very beneficial. Conflict can be used to communicate needs and concerns to others, if communicated well. Personally, I struggle with having conflict, but I know that if I improve on my conflict styles, then I can improve the relationships that I have with other people. I personally relate to two different styles of conflict theory. The first, attribution theory, is attributing meaning through observation. I like to travel the world and learn about how people live and act. I take the bits and pieces I learn to understand people in the world around me. The second theory I relate to is social exchange theory, which evaluates the rewards and costs of a relationship based on the effort required for the relationship. I relate to this theory because I want to invest in people who are willing to invest in me, because I want to feel valued. However, sometimes in a relationship with others, because I know it would benefit them more than me, because I want to help them and make them feel valued as well. There are multiple styles of conflict presented by personal conflict management and intercultural conflict. The style I most adhere to depends on the situation. However, I lean towards obliging or accommodating. Accommodating is low concern with self and high concern for others. I lean this way because I value relationships and I want others to be happy even if it's at my own expense. I also tend to use emotional expression as well to guide communication behaviors during conflict. Since I put others before me and my wishes, sometimes emotional expression is the only way I have to communicate that I don't agree, or that while I am accommodating them, I may not be happy. It's my way of using nonverbal communication in order to communicate with others. The conflict style I avoid using is dominating and neglect. I do not dominate because I find it exhausting to put up a fight. Often I let things go because it is easier. I also do not use neglect because I am not subtle with my emotions. Being passive aggressive does not work for me and often comes off as just being aggressive. However, as I stated before, my conflict style varies depending on the situation. At work, I am more prone to collaborate, to work with others to create solutions and make decisions. In my family, I'm more dominating or competing because I am not afraid to voice my needs and my opinions. With friends, I am more likely to use compromising because I am willing to give and take. And in my relationships, I avoid conflict altogether. Part of this has to do with high stakes. So with family and friends, I know they're more likely to stick around. So I'm not afraid to give my opinion more. But with work and relationships, I am more likely to avoid conflict or put others before me because I know the stakes are higher and I don't want to offend anyone or cause the situation to get worse. Depending on the different culture, I really try to base my conflict styles off of how I think people are going to react. As I stated before, in work, in relationships, I know they come from different backgrounds, and that even with friends, it can be hard to understand their culture or their conflict styles. Whereas with family, I know their conflict style really well, and we have similar conflict styles, so I am more likely to be open to them, whereas I stand off in conflict with other people when I'm unaware of their culture or their styles of conflict. Even though my style changes situationally, I do not feel like I have much control over my conflict styles. I am prone to violence with my family and prone to avoidance with everyone else. There are a few things I would like to change about my conflict style. I would like to become more aware of myself and others in conflict. This means I want to be able to check my heart and figure out my path before entering conflict. And during conflict, I want to create a safe place in which others and I can state our paths and create mutual purpose. Overall, I want to have a collaborating conflict style. I want to be able to work with others to create mutual purpose and find a way to benefit us both. Part of that is by doing some of the things I've already stated, such as checking my heart and my emotions and figuring out what I truly want to happen when conflict arises. And during conflict, creating a safe place in which others and I can state our past. Part of that is sharing facts and being not afraid to apologize when needed. But it's also agreeing when both of you agree, building on what has been said, and comparing our past with everybody else's once we disagree, so that we can work on understanding both paths well. Currently, I am in conflict with my mentor in an organization that I'm a part of. She wants me to take on a specific leadership role in which I do not want to take on. I am very busy with other things in my life, but also I do not think I would enjoy being in that role. The steps I can take to have a conversation with my mentor is by using the steps of state. I started by stating my facts by saying I'm not ready to be in this leadership role. Then tell my story explaining why I would not enjoy being in that role, which is because I'm trying to reevaluate my alignment with the organization and how much effort I'm willing to invest. I am not ready to be a leader because I do not believe I can put forth the effort that they need to be a part of the organization. I then could ask them if there was a way I could still be involved without taking on a leadership role. Then we could work together to find the best solution. The barriers to this conversation would be my willingness to give in to the leadership role, because often I find it hard to say no, especially if I can tell the other person is disappointed by my decision. My mentor is also a very persistent person who often tries later on to convince me, so I need to make sure that I am clear about my intentions and remember to state the facts, that I am very busy and do not have the time to put the effort they need into the leadership role. Part of my goal to improve my conflict style is to make sure I create a safe conversation. This means that not only am I creating a safe place for others, but for me as well, so that I am not being backed up into a corner. Remembering to state my path and remembering my purpose will help direct the conversation better, so that both I can receive and my mentor can receive what we need to be happy in this situation. In this presentation, we talked about what conflict is in my personal life, my different conflict styles, and also a current situation in which I can learn to improve my conflict styles. As I stated before, conflict is part of everyday life, and the more we're willing to work on ourselves in conflict, the more we can benefit from our conversations. I would like to continue to practice my conflict styles and improve so that I can feel in control with the different conflict styles that I use with different people. Through practice, I feel like I can benefit more and I can become better at having conversations with other people.